Solo queuing. It's something that most of us do when we play Siege, and it's something that we usually regret doing. But it's understandable. You'll get the itch to play ranked, but none of your friends are online, so you solo queue, but you get put with people who won't say a word and don't contribute anything at all to the game. I'm the Senator, and I'm here to show you which operators you can play to make solo queuing a whole lot easier for yourself. But before I go any further, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That'll help me out a lot. Also, check out my Instagram and Twitch. Links will be down below in the description. Okay, so solo queuing is tough, but there are specific operators in the game that make solo queuing so much easier. And note, these operators are the ones that work great for me while I solo queue, and there may be other operators that work better for you, or maybe these operators don't work very well for you. There are no absolutes in Siege, but overall I feel like you'll win more matches and have a better time solo queuing with these specific operators. So first, I'm going to go over the attacking operators that are great for solo queuing. And the first one that comes to mind is both Gridlock and Nomad. And the reason that I'm grouping these two operators together is because to me, they're more or less the same operator. They have the same concept, and that is to protect the flank. When it comes to solo queuing, you cannot rely on your teammates to give you information. You cannot rely on them to tell you if someone's flanking around you, and you need to be able to protect your flank. So with the use of Gridlock's track stingers or Nomad's air jab, you can prevent defenders from sneaking up behind you. Playing these operators while I solo queue give me a somewhat peace of mind because I can't rely on my teammates, but if I play Gridlock or Nomad, I know that I'm safe and nobody will be able to sneak up on me. So between Gridlock or Nomad, play whoever you're most comfortable with. If you've been subscribed to me for long enough, you know that I am a Gridlock fanboy, and I prefer her over Nomad because I think she brings more utility with the use of smoke grenades and just the massive area that her tracks can cover. But if you're more comfortable with Nomad, that's fine. She is a fantastic operator as well. Now, when you solo queue, you'll usually get stuck with players that can go the entire round without getting a single kill. So you need to be able to pick an operator that has some fragging ability with some utility. So you should pick either a Sledge or a Buck, whichever one you're most comfortable with. Both of these operators have great fragging potential as well as the ability to play vertically. Between the two of them, Buck I feel is better from a utility standpoint, being able to play vertically from above as well as below, whereas Sledge is only limited to playing from above. But for many people, including myself, we struggle with the Buck's recoil. I know that whenever I play him, I usually have to use a hollow because his recoil is just so much. But any of those two operators will work greatly because they both have great fragging potential as well as the ability to play vertically. And so the last attacking operator I recommend is Twitch. First, because she has the best primary weapon in the game, the F2. Even though that thing just got nerfed, it's still the best in the game. However, the primary isn't the only reason that she's on this list. She has both fragging potential as well as the ability to take care of defensive gadgets. Yes, you could bring a Thatcher, but in my opinion, Twitch has more of a fragging capability with her F2. And Twitch is great because you cannot rely on your teammates to take care of the defender gadgets if they're not even going to speak to you. And they're probably just going to go off and do their own thing, try to go for kills, not even playing the objective. Solo queuing is all about being reliant on yourself, and Twitch gives you the ability to take care of gadgets as well as rack up kills with her insane F2, and to me she's a very reliable pick. And a little side note, I know this goes without saying, but if your team doesn't pick a hard breacher, this all goes out the window. Run the Thermite, the Hibana, or the Maverick. A hard breacher is a must, and if nobody on your team has selected the hard breacher, just be that person. And honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Probably you want to pick a Hibana or Thermite before you pick a Maverick, but using Hibana or Thermite all depends on which map you're playing as well as which site you expect the defenders to go to. And so those are the attackers. Now we're going to get into the best defenders to solo queue with. And we're going to start off with Valkyrie. In Siege, the most important thing either team can have is information. If you're able to obtain information as to where the attackers are pushing from, you automatically have a huge advantage. And boy, does Valkyrie give you that advantage. You cannot always rely on your teammates to put out cameras or pick an operator that is able to obtain information, or even rely on them to give you the information that they've obtained themselves. So it's best to get the information for yourself. And next, similar to Valkyrie, we have Mozzie. Now, if you know me, you know that Mozzie is one of my favorite operators, and I don't think there's been a more influential operator to be released since Mozzie came out in Burn Horizon. In some instances, it's better to have a Mozzie rather than a Valk. The only downside with a Mozzie is you're not guaranteed to get cameras. Any other time, I would rather have a Mozzie than a Valk, but when you solo queue, it's better to have a guarantee that you'll actually get cameras. However, if you're really good with Mozzie, you're good at catching them drones, go ahead and go for it. And I just stated earlier that, information is the most important thing that you can get in this game. And so, depending on your skill level, try to weigh out the options as to, would you rather have a Valkyrie or Mozzie? Would you rather have an operator that guarantees you to get information with your 3 cameras? Or would you rather run an operator that gives you a chance to take away attackers' information as well as gaining your own? And you just have to try to figure out which one is more important to you. Okay, so next we have Mute. And in my opinion, Mute is probably one of the most versatile operators in Siege. He has one of the best loadouts for defenders, and the amount of utility that he can bring to the game is just absolutely ridiculous. Mute can, stop drones and deny hard breachers from entering sight. And I've said it multiple times already, but information is extremely important. And Mute is able to deny information from attackers. He's able to, deny drones from getting into sight. He's able to, stop Lion from spotting you. He makes Doki's calls useless. And you should be playing Mute even when you're not solo queuing, because he is such a powerful operator. And honestly, I could probably make an entire video about Mute and how you should be playing him more. And I'll probably do that next. But pick Mute. Start using Mute, even when you're not solo queuing, because he is just so good. Okay guys, so now we're on to our last operator, and this operator is Legion. And the reason Legion is on this list is both because of the utility and information that he brings. And not to mention the fact that he's probably one of the easiest operators to play other than maybe Rook. Legion is fantastic because when you solo queue and nobody's giving you callouts as to where attackers are pushing, you can get audio cues. And maybe other than Capcan, Ella, or an operator who runs barbed wire, very few operators are able to give you audio cues to tell you where they're pushing from. And these audio cues not only help you, but they help your entire team. They let everyone know what area of the map that attackers are pushing from. And Legion is just so simple because with him, you don't have to have a camera to look at to, find out where attackers are coming from. If an attacker hits a mine, most of your team will hear it and know exactly where they're coming from. And this is able to give you information without even getting off the angle that you're holding. And along with audio cues, Legion is a great counter to shields. And this is important because it usually takes 2 people to cooperate in order to take down a shield operator. And that's an aspect of Legion's ability that's not really talked about very much. But yes, a well-placed nitro cell will be able to take care of any shield operator, and most of the time you will have at least one operator on your team who has a nitro cell. But a good Monty can avoid a nitro cell that's not perfectly placed. It takes teamwork to take down a Monty, and when you solo queue, it's very, very rare that your team will work together. So Legion makes it a whole lot easier, lets you know where the Monty's pushing from, you know that he's hurt and he has to take down that shield, and that's a huge advantage to the defenders. But at the end of the day, Legion is probably the best solo queue operator because he allows you to sit on site, hold an angle, and wait until you hear that distinct sound of the goo being stepped on. Everyone then knows where the attacker is, and they know that he's in a very, very vulnerable position. And so guys, that's all I got for today. Let me know down below if there's an operator that I skipped out on, an operator that is great for solo queuing that I somehow just missed. And let me know whether or not you agree with the list I gave you. Do you think that these are good operators to solo queue with? If you disagree, please let me know. I'd love to have a discussion with you guys. Also, remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon. That will help me out so much, guys. And check out my Twitch and Instagram. Links will be down below in the description. And I've had an amazing past month. Thank you guys for your support. I love you guys. Thank you for, DMing me and encouraging me and just giving me your feedback, because that means a lot. And I can only get better. I can only make content you like if you let me know what you like and what you don't like, what I'm doing right, and what you'd like to see me do better. So again, thank you for your support. And as always, see you next time.